What's up, everybody? This is Henry Fleischer here from the Cannabis Dispatch, also the CBD Business Networking group on Facebook, and I have a very special guest today. I have Adam Trefler. So, Adam, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Basically, I'm a first-time smoke shop owner. I've been in the industry probably at least, I don't know, 6-7 years now. I was used to doing just shows, concerts, and events like HorrorCon, Exotica, just basically pushing smoking accessories to the masses where most people wouldn't go into these places or get the permission. But I got lucky and I knew a lot of people who ran these events, and I ended up being luckily the only smoke shop, like portable smoke shop or mobile smoke shop for all these events. So it was pretty a good time. So I saved up enough money and basically opened up my own shop.
Oh, and where's your shop located?
1313 Bound Brook Road, Middlesex, New Jersey.
You're in Central Jersey then?
Yep, in the heart of Central Jersey.
Oh, nice. So how long has that shop been around?
I've been open for about a year and 4 or 5 months now.
Oh, wow. And you carry CBD products?
I carry a full line of CBD products, Delta 8 products, basically in every form I can find. There's still a few things I'm looking for out there, good quality wise, but I have a very large variety, only a few brand names. I don't really get too crazy into celebrity endorsed products and stuff like that, because I find them to be not as quality compared to some of the smaller companies out there.
Oh, I hear you on that. And what about too, because New Jersey's just legalized for THC. Do you plan on carrying THC when that time comes around too?
Well, I have interest in getting into that market, but I'm talking to a lot of friends that are a little bit deeper into the marijuana market in other states. Basically, I'm not too gonna jump into it. A lot of my investors are interested in more of like the vending machine route or a smoking lounge instead of an actual dispensary, because until the federal government decriminalizes it, there's just a lot more you have to deal with, and it costs almost another like $500,000 just dealing with the federal government for legal licensing and stuff like that. Plus, New Jersey really doesn't have much of that information out there for us at the moment.
Oh, gotcha. And I know, going back to the business side of things, too, what was it that made you want to open up your own retail shop?
Basically, I was getting to the point where every shop I went into around here is all cookie cutter. Everybody had the same products and it was overpriced. And I was just fed up. You know what I mean? I was like, why do I have to go into a shop and the cheapest thing you have is a hand pipe is like $40? You know what I mean? I'm like, because my friends live in Florida, and I drove down to Florida, and their smoke shops, I understand the rent's a little bit cheaper, but they're not marked. You still can go in and get a pipe for $10 or $20, or you know what I mean? So it was just that irked me a lot. And also very few like customized products. I make customized pieces out of water pipes. I make customized pieces out of vintage bottles, beer bottles, wine, champagne, just all different types of pieces. Plus, I also make controllers, N64 controller pipes, and Nintendo Zapper pipes.
Whoa, N64 controller pipe?
Yeah. I'll show you real quick. I'll grab one.
Where's the actual thing? Is it like in the joystick part?
Exactly.
That's clever.
So all the buttons still work. It just won't work on your actual your Nintendo system anymore.
Yeah. Oh, so is it right there? That's where at the top where the wire should be is where you would inhale?
Yep, exactly.
Oh, damn, that's clever.
And then I also have the Nintendo Zapper pipe.
Oh.
And it still has the vintage clicking sounds, and I left the little cord on there to make it also a little, original. And you basically, kind of just smoke it like that.
Ah, dude, I think one like that's not cookie cutter at all. Like that's clever as hell.
Yeah, I try to just come up with different ideas. I'm working on like a standard Nintendo controller, one hitter, or chill'em type of deal. That's the next thing I'm working on. But
Oh, wow.
basically, yeah, I just try to come up with different stuff, and obviously keep my store stocked with as much of the newest products that are out there that are quality.
Oh, of course. What was the toughest thing you went through when you first opened up?
It's inventory right now is just almost a nightmare because you're scrambling to get stuff that everybody is trying to get. And with major issues with shipping these days and everything like that, you're literally sometimes have to wake up every morning, go to your wholesale sites and see who got in new product. Or, if you're lucky, they'll call you up and be like, hey, we just got in a shipment of this. You know what I mean? You might want to jump on that. So yeah, that's the most difficult thing when it comes to that I've noticed so far, that and advertising, obviously.
Oh, yeah, because so as a smoke shop owner, are there restrictions too on advertising?
Not really. I'm just not good at it. I'm not a big marketing guy. I've always been a product guy. So looking for product, finding new products, stuff like that. The side of the business I'm not so great at is the social media and stuff like that. Which I'm, looking to find somebody to help me out with. I'm hiring, basically.
I got you. What would you say is the toughest part about being a business this year in 2021?
It basically, well, in New Jersey, it's like rules and regulations. A lot of that is changing dramatically when it comes to the CBD and hemp products. Insurance companies now want thousands of dollars to basically have you just have CBD in your store. So those companies are kind of taking advantage of the situation and marking up all their stuff, unfortunately. So that's a little bit of the few of the little issues that come awry with the smoke shops and the cannabis industry.
I got you. And yeah, if a customer was to choose to visit your business and three others just like yours, why'd you suggest they go with you first?
One, better customer service. I hear all the time the associates or the young kids that are behind the counter just don't quite know what they're talking about. They're just listening to somebody else and hopefully, they take in that knowledge. But yeah, customer service and pricing. That's one thing I made sure. I've gone to all the smoke shops around me, checked out their pricing, and I'm cheaper than in pretty much every aspect. And I understand because understand the wholesale part of things a little bit. I'm into having a product a little bit cheaper, and hopefully you come to my shop and buy multiples of them, even like cones and just little inexpensive products that everybody is charging a little bit more for. I'll charge a little bit less, and hopefully that customer will purchase a handful instead of just one.
Oh, I got you. What's the number one way you currently bring in new customers?
Really, at this point in time, it's been a lot of word of mouth. My customers, I have a lot of repeat customers, and I'm in a small town. So that's really been my cup of tea at the moment. I've done advertising on beer coasters, but all the bars are pretty much shut down around here. So they're just starting to open up, and some of them still have my beer coasters. And then other ways I've been trying to bring people in has basically just been social media, talking to different social media influencers, being on Facebook, and just putting my name out there in the different cannabis groups.
I got you. So yeah, when did your business open up right before COVID, or is it during COVID?
Literally exactly during COVID.
Oh wow. So how did you adjust during that time?
I literally was just almost closed. My only adjustment was trying to push myself on social media as much as possible. Like, hey, I'm here, I'm open. You just have to make an appointment. So that was pretty much how I started things. I was open for like, I think maybe a month, and then COVID hit. And then I was for the next 2 months was either being open or just by appointment.
Oh wow. No, I'm sure that for you that was an unexpected curveball too when that happened.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, obviously. But gave me a little bit more time to get more product in my store, and make it the way I'd like. So I had a little bit more time to, get my store set up the way I like. And, that also helped because when people come into my shop, they're like, it looks good. And, you don't want it to look, just like, oh, you have scattered product, or you have product that's all mishmashed in different places. I try to categorize stuff in my store. So all my banger and wax and concentrate stuff is in one section of the store. And then like my hand pipes and chillums and Sherlocks and stuff like that are in another part of the store altogether.
Gotcha. In a weird way too, I think like COVID was a good period for anybody to start a business because of the unexpected too, and then it could speed up the learning curve in a lot of ways dealing with that challenge.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was chaotic, especially with the shipping and stuff like that, where there was like literally you couldn't purchase overseas or from India or any of these places because everything was literally shut down. So you're waiting for your orders, but you don't know when they're going to come to you. So that was definitely like, oh crap, you know what I mean? I'm trying to have my store filled with merchandise, but the shipping, the manufacturers are like, we can't even ship stuff out. So it was interesting.
Yeah, because I know during that 2008 to 2010 recession, there were a lot of companies formed during that period. I think like Uber, Airbnb, Venmo, Lyft, to name a few. So like they use that time to find a solution to some problems. And it's similar. I think I could see the same thing happening too, coming out of COVID too. There could be a rise in new companies who were birthed during that time.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it would be interesting to see though. And see what else I got for you. So I guess you kind of covered it a little bit too, but like how big of a role has the internet played in getting your business more out there?
That's probably one of my only major downfalls is getting myself out on social media more. I just been so busy with inventory and getting product in my store and keeping it the shelves filled. That's the one thing basically I have to definitely start pushing and working on a lot more, especially I haven't even gotten my website up and going. That's the next major step, and I'm looking to get a lot of my products out also on the internet.
Oh, so you do plan on having like an e-commerce component to your website?
Yeah, I have it pretty much set. It's almost set to go. A lot of tweaks and more product has to be put on the shell on the uploaded and everything like that. Yep. So yeah, that's my next major thing is e-commerce, and also start doing stuff with having almost like a monthly thing. So you can choose basically a little package of smoking accessories I want to have. Like a lot of companies have been doing, where you get a little package of new products or new rolling papers or blunt wraps or anything like that. Little package deals I'm looking to push out there as well.
Oh, it's like a monthly subscription?
Exactly. Subscription services. And basically also I want to try to get into auctions as well.
Oh, nice. Like when that e-commerce component's out, who can buy those products? Is it just people in the Central Jersey area, people over the US?
The majority of the products will be all over the US, CBD wise. Delta 8 is banned in more and more states every day. The East Coast, I know, isn't really going to ban it just yet. only because we don't have the recreational facilities fighting that. That's one bonus about being on the East Coast. We're a little late to things in some aspects when it comes to the cannabis marketplace. So at least I'll be able to sell Delta 8 and Delta 10 products probably for at least another year, hopefully, until they figure out how that's going to combat the recreational part of things.
Yeah, it just like because it seems like we're moving backwards by banning Delta 8 if we want to legalize everywhere.
Well, it's only in the states that are legalized, mainly where they're banning a lot of the Delta 8 because according to the companies who own these recreational facilities, they say it's hurting their business because you don't need a license to sell Delta 8. So that's where it's like a fight within the industry almost, unfortunately.
Yeah, because I think there's a place for Delta 8 too in the industry, and like CBD, THC, all of it.
100%. Delta 8, as everybody knows, it's approximately half the potency, or what people say it lasts half the amount of time. So it's great for people who want to try it for the first time, or they're just not heavy users.
Yeah.
Delta 8 and Delta 10 products aren't exactly for the heavy marijuana user. It's just not really for them. It's not going to suit their purpose. But for newbies, or like I said, people who are just looking to dibble dabble or try it for the first time, it's an amazing product for them because they're not going to get overly anxious, and they're not going to have they're just not going to it's not as potent for them, so they can try it and not worry about freaking out as much or having an anxiety attack.
No, yeah, some people don't want that really intense high. They just want that really light one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good for those people.
Exactly.
Yeah. And another thing too, like if you had to take a look 6 months to a year into the future, where would you like to see the business?
My business or just the overall
Yours.
Cannabis? My business, I'm looking to get into, obviously, part of the marijuana industry when it comes to vending machines, and possibly, like I said earlier, I think a smoking lounge. That's where and I would love to expand to another store as well. Either brick and mortar, or at least have a full-blown online store, an online presence.
If you had to look for another brick and mortar store, would you go into Central Jersey, somewhere around Central Jersey?
I would be looking. Right now, I'm possibly, it would be more in Central Jersey, but just a little bit higher end of an area. Possibly like the Morristown area, because there's a college there, and it's a little bit there's a lot more there's a little more concentrated amount of people in Morristown, and they have a really amazing downtown. Obviously a little pricey, but as your rent goes up, that's where the prices go up a little bit.
Yeah. Isn't Morristown considered north though? I thought it was more, I guess, north central.
Oh yeah, a little bit. What is it called? Yeah, actually it is, now that I think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know. I think it's like New Jersey is like it's a big state, Jersey.
Yeah, it's like everything is just so compact. It's like for some reason I always consider Central Jersey way bigger than it really is, because I drive, and I have family that lives up north and down south. So
yeah, because like with Jersey, it's like, oh yeah, what's the cutoff point between when people associate themselves to New York and Philly, or like whoever roots for those sports teams? That's kind of like, hey, where's that cutoff point?
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, because I think right now you're in you're in the area where it's like more of New York influence, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot more like Giant fans, and it's a mix. But there's different parts of Jersey that are Mets fans, New York Yankees fans, Giants, and Jets. It's a little weird how it's broken up, but I'm more of a Devils fan. Hockey one.
Oh, so you don't have like Eagles fans and all that there, Phillies fans?
Very, very few. Most of them are a little bit closer to the Yeah, a little bit closer to Philadelphia,
Yeah.
up that route.
I think it's kind of similar to with Connecticut. You got to a certain cutoff point where you got a mix of like Yankees, Red Sox, Patriot fans. And then it's like gets kind of weird because then you got Boston and New York influence.
Yeah, exactly.
And so yeah, where would you like to see the industry headed though, too?
Honestly, I would like less fighting in the industry. That would be nice. And for these major corporations that obviously are gonna, unfortunately take over most of it, whether you like it or not, if they would just be a little bit more about the true culture. Culture is really what it needs, what it's always been for me, is a lot more culture based, where a lot of people are more chill and relaxed and not, stressed. Well, so everybody's stressed, but we're just a little bit more, it's hard to explain, but basically just people that are get together more and not fight over dumb things. There shouldn't be fighting in the cannabis industry. It's to me, it's a little ridiculous, because that's culture based. We're all supposed to get along. We're more about like hanging out and having a good time and not getting completely like obsessed with politics and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. And this is a question I ask a lot of people. Which food would you like to see infused with CBD?
Oh wow, pretty much everything has. I haven't seen much that has not lately. But I would like to see more of a true sativa like energy shot that is, all natural. It might already exist, but I haven't seen too many things that you can put into like an alcoholic beverage. There are some products out there, but I haven't seen too much of that. That's one thing I'd like to see, is something to go into alcoholic products. What is it called? So bars can partake in the CBD world and stuff like that. More additives when it comes to the alcohol industry, because I just noticed a lot of the bars and restaurants are struggling. So if they can partake in the industry without needing major licensing and stuff, just to give their customers a little bit peek into the cannabis world, with either a food or just a drink that has CBD in it. So really, I want it to be a little bit more in the food and bar industry.
God, because like personally, I like to see like some gourmet meals infused with some of the CBD too.
Exactly, just like what people see on these TV shows. I'd like to see that actually, a little bit more on the East Coast. It's largely more on the West Coast, infusing stuff. Here on the East Coast, not the infusing thing isn't as popular. And restaurants, I haven't seen any restaurants around here that even have anything on the menu that's CBD related.
No, yeah, like I think so sooner than later that's gonna open up where you're gonna see that at places.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see.
Yeah,
I think it would help that industry quite a bit, since COVID really, really hurt them bad.
because the other thing too, like a lot of the products out there on the market for CBD are like sweet related products too. So I think there should be more savory products as well too to complement them.
Yeah, I'm starting to see what people are doing. They're taking CBD isolate or Delta 8 isolates and stuff like that, or THC isolates, and coating chips, popcorn, and stuff like that. And that's pretty neat. I never really thought that would happen. And they're having CBD or THC Doritos. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, it's like that's the one thing I started seeing more and more people doing, coating different regular products in these isolates, and it's pretty wild to me.
Yeah. So yeah, which other industries do you feel like are going to benefit from hemp?
Definitely, it's really, the hemp industry is everything. Well, when it comes to paper products or petroleum products, all of that. Hopefully the regulations get more and more lifted and allow these hemp farmers to really go crazy. We need way, way more hemp farmers in order to get that industry rolling. Hempcrete, having streets and everything, literally everything can be made out of hemp. And since it's a way more sustainable product, it's just, that's where I see everything eventually start to go.
Yeah.
Petroleum out, hemp in. And, with all these guidelines that the government's coming out with that people are freaking out about, to me, it is a little too soon, possibly, to try to push full, all these petroleum products off the market, since literally everything is almost made out of it. But you have to help the hemp industry in the same sense and push that in order to push the petroleum products out. You can't just say, oh, petroleum products out. Well, what are you going to do to help the hemp industry? You have to really push that forward in order for everything to start changing, especially with hemp, because it's a product that it doesn't destroy the land. You can grow it and grow it and grow it in the same area, and it won't destroy the soil, and it won't. So you can constantly grow it and not have to worry about the land getting destroyed, unlike corn and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and the other thing too, like hemp doesn't have like as long of a growth cycle as compared to like a tree, which they use for paper and everything.
Oh yeah, and with the genetics these days, they've been able to grow hemp plants so ridiculously fast. Yeah, it's mainly for industrial use, but that's really what we need to push. We are a little bit of the way when it comes to the smoking and medical side of things, but yeah, they really, really, really have to start pushing the industrial side of things. That is a big, big must.
Agree with you completely. Because yeah, another thing too like there's actually too, if you look at the history, like in the 30s or whatever it was, like I think really a lot of industries were threatened by hemp. They like there's like the cotton, timber.
Oh, absolutely.
Oil industries. They were that's why like they campaigned for hemp to be illegal, because they were threatened it was going to destroy theirs.
Yeah, exactly. And it all started so long, and that was really the beginning of the prohibition. It all really started with that, not the smoking part of things. They just ran with that. But it was all about them pushing that industry back because they knew it would destroy that industry. And instead of them being smart about it and going into that industry, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever found. It's like, okay, if you're $1 billion company and something is that can beat your product, why don't you just get into that industry?
Exactly.
Instead of fighting the industry. It costs them more money to fight the industry than them actually going and doing it themselves. That's the most ignorant part of prohibition. The marijuana and hemp prohibition, to me, that just blows my mind. But that's things happen.
Yeah, you can make a car from hemp too, which is crazy. And I read something that they tried to put an axe into the hemp car and it couldn't even break. It like went backwards.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar. I just remember the hemp car in Cheech and Chong.
I forgot. I think Henry Ford was like coming up with a concept that, hey, we're gonna make a car made a lot from hemp, and like the outer part was like, really strong.
Exactly. I know what you're saying. Yeah, out of hemp fiber. Yeah, because hemp fiber is stronger than basically any of these other fibers that are out there. They've been able to make hemp fiber so strong, it's ridiculous. It was just, I think, the weight was the issue. They were figuring out how to make it. It was a little heavier, I believe. But that's something that obviously can be figured out.
Oh, definitely. Like my dream house would be constructed entirely of hemp materials.
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fully sustainable. I mean, they already have fully sustainable houses. They're just not made from hemp. But that would be the ultimate fully sustainable house off the grid, made out of fully almost 100% full cannabis products.
Yeah, like hempcrete driveway. So yeah, hemp lumber.
everything.
Yeah, that's like lumber's prices are through the roof, but that can be solved with hemp.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the same thing. It's the regulations that are holding everything back, unfortunately. Even with 2018 hemp bill, that's one small win. We need more wins like that to help the industries for sure.
Yeah, no, like the Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper.
Exactly. It's just same thing. It's just like, okay, if our forefathers didn't mind it and they knew that the paper was stronger and better, obviously, why didn't we go in that direction? I'll never understand that part of history.
No, I don't think anybody will. But yeah, like I think clothing too is supposed to be like even hemp clothing supposed to last longer than like cotton.
Oh, absolutely. That's funny enough. That's the one thing. When I start my clothing line, that's I was going to start it sooner, but hemp T-shirts are still awfully expensive. So me trying to print on nothing but hemp T-shirts, unfortunately, isn't cost effective for me at the moment. But I will. I want to do some of them in that way and just have a customer be like, choose. Hey, if you want to pay an extra $10 for my version of this T-shirt in hemp, you know what I mean, and see how that works out. And if more people end up buying the more expensive hemp T-shirts, then I can fully go hemp.
Oh yeah, I think too. Like you could do like hybrids of like do hemp and cotton hybrids too.
They do have those as well. I just noticed the prices are still a little on the higher side, even for the cross. You're almost better off just going full hemp almost. But they do have, yes, cross-woven weaves and stuff like that, which is at least a big step in the right direction.
Oh yeah, try to think one of the things we use hemp for too on the industry side. So we have like I think the construction industry too. I think it's going to change with more hemp products are rolled out in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering too. Wonder if plastic, because like hemp plastic's biodegradable.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just it's what is going to hopefully take over for the petroleum plastic industry.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
I guess I was just thinking about this too. Like like the hard hats construction workers wear. What if they had those made from hemp?
Oh yeah, there's pretty much everything. Like you said, is can be made better with hemp products, just because how hemp is designed and on a molecular level, and the fibers are ridiculous. They're almost as strong as a spider web fiber, which is that's also ridiculous. But to be able to have fiber that strong, and it's stronger than pretty much any other materials that are out there. It's just, hopefully, so many years from now, that's all we see. That's what I'm hoping, because
Max can't even cut through it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If it's made correctly, yeah, you can chainsaws. It'll destroy a chainsaw blade. Try to go through certain hemp materials that are designed to be super strong.
I mean, that could help with military grade armor too. Like you can make it armor made from hemp too.
Yeah, bulletproof and all that. That's already been, a lot of that has been experimented with, and it's the science is all there. It's just putting that science forward and making it cost effective. And that's really, unfortunately, a lot of that's still up to the government when it comes to the regulations. They need to loosen this stuff up. So they're putting all these things on the petroleum industry, and we need to see, okay, you're going to hurt the petroleum industry, which I'm fine with, but you have to help the hemp industry to cover that those products and that type of stuff.
Yeah,
you got to help. If you're going to destroy one industry, you have to grow another to take over for it. And unfortunately, we're a little on the latency side of things when it comes to that.
I mean, yeah, like you look at like Netflix destroyed like Blockbuster.
Yep, exactly. And that's more of a media type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like, yeah, we'll just have to see, really. My fingers are crossed that the hemp industry blows up in the next 5 to 10 years, like on a massive level.
because I think I saw an article recently that $92 billion, I forgot if it was last year what the time period was, but was added to the economy from hemp. That number is only going to go up.
Oh yeah, it's such a drop of the hat. It will be the largest industry. It will take over eventually and be, period, the largest industry. The cannabis industry, including the hemp, CBD, everything that just derived from these products. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Everybody thinks because we're such a saturated, there's so many saturation of products on the market. Those are just mostly digestible or products for basically, to help with pain and people and stress and anxiety and stuff like that. We haven't even touched 1/10 of this industry. We're so in the infancy stages. It's ridiculous.
I know. Yeah, it's like we're still in a wild west period.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly, yeah, like you said. It's literally the Wild West, where products are just being thrown all over the place, and it's somewhat regulated within itself. But they need to really work on that as well. We need to really work on that as well, because there's so many. Unfortunately, you always have the bad apples, and
of course.
weeding that out is something that needs to be done. No pun intended.
Yeah, because I think there's even like some companies who put their products out on the market without proper COAs.
Oh, no COAs, no COIs. They're not insured. It's that's the hard part, is finding products that have all of that. That's legit. I literally have to if I get a new product in or ask for a COA from a company, I have to cross-reference it. I have to call the lab, and I have to make sure the numbers are the same on my paper that they sent me that's on the lab's papers. And I've even gotten labs that have said, oh, no, we can't disclose that information. And I'm like, why? You tested that company's product. How come me as someone in the industry can't see that information? That means something shady is going on to me.
Oh, yeah. And what advice would you give to somebody who's thinking about entering the cannabis space?
Oh my God, there's just too much. It's not quite what you think it is. It's not a piece of cake. It is a very difficult industry because it's at its infancy stages. You can make so many wrong moves when it comes to product and lose a lot of money, especially with all the new stuff with Delta 8. All these companies that bought all this Delta 8 that are in these states that just banned it, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? We all know it's going to happen. It's all going to be sold on the black market, most likely. But whether you like it or not, that's the things that have to be figured out, is doing your research on product before you bring it into your store. Test your product before it comes to the store. I ask anybody, if you won't send me a sample for me to test your product, I'm not interested. And they're like, oh, well, we're a big brand. We don't need to do that. Well, I don't care. You know what I mean? I still want to try your product. I don't care how many people say it's great. I want to try it for myself. I want to have my friends try it out to make sure we like it. And because you can build hype up on a product and it's terrible. You know what I mean? Simple as that. I've gotten so many products and they're like, oh, it's the best in the world. And then I get it and it's terrible. It's absolutely, it's bad.
Yeah, and what's the best way somebody can get hold of your business too?
Right now, basically, you can check me out on Instagram or Facebook, Smoke This Way at Facebook, Smoke This Way at Instagram. I am on a lot of other media, but I don't really post enough, like TikTok and all those. I'm working to hire a person to take over or help me with my social media in order to build that up and build a bigger name for myself, because I want Smoke This Way to be a true brand name, where people are like, okay, that really does make sense. I really do want to smoke that way. You know what I mean?
Oh, clever.
So, and I'm working on, a bunch of other stuff when it comes to branding, because you have to. You got to put a lot of money at it. I'm not rich, so I'm doing what I can in the least expensive way possible. Unfortunately, with Facebook and stuff like that, I can't or not quite know how to get a lot products out there, because Facebook, in certain aspects of Facebook, they won't let you advertise those type of products yet.
Yeah, there's ways to get around that. I've seen people get around that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Mostly it's people a lot said it's through a Facebook store. So you can't really majorly advertise, but you can advertise your store that sells it. You just can't specifically advertise those products.
Yeah, I think it'll be like advertising to people within a radius of your store that they can go visit.
Exactly. So there's little ways to do it. I haven't quite had the time to get that accomplished yet, but that's my next major steps are really pushing that part of my business for sure.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, if you have any other things coming out with your business, whether the launch of your e-commerce store, any other new developments in your business, you're more than welcome to be on, and we can cover you there as well too.
That would be awesome. That would be really cool.
Yeah, thank you again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
No problem.